What's going on, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Mikey Raider, and I think I just witnessed the actual proof that the Raiders are going to trade up and select Jayden Daniels, if at all possible. Again, the trade still has to go through, but I think Tom Telesco in today's press conference just gave away that secret. As he looks a little bit nervous talking to the press, I recommend you watch the press conference. But here's where I believe he let it slip that the Raiders are going to draft Jayden Daniels. And let's watch it together.
Sweet great stuff. What has it been like just working with Antonio Pierce this offseason and sharing each other's goals?
Yeah, it's been really good. He's got a great vision of what he wants in the football team. He hasn't deviated from that, which really helps the personnel department as far as trying to match up players to our football team. He's got
He has a procedure, and he has not deviated from that. And he has spoken about he's a trading up person, and he's going to go out and get his guy. And according to Tom Telesco, who doesn't like to talk in press conferences, he's going about his business, and he hasn't deviated from his plan. So is it a Antonio Pierce plan?
He's got a great vision of what he wants in the football team. He hasn't deviated from that, which really helps the personnel department as far as trying to match up players to our football team.
It helps our personnel department match up players that'll fit our team. The general manager is talking about how the coach is picking players for the personnel department to match with the team. The general manager is not speaking about it. Antonio Pierce is.
He's got a great vision of what he wants in the football team. He hasn't deviated from that, which really helps the personnel department as far as trying to match up players to our football team. He's got a great feel for evaluating players, which I'm not surprised. He played at a high level. He's coached at high school level, college level, and pro level. Evaluating players is all the same, whether they're 15 years old or they're 25 years old. But he's got a really good feel for that. It's been nice since he was in college recently. He knows some of these players already. He may have recruited them. He had known about them. He had played against them when he was coaching in college. That's been helpful. I think the biggest thing is he has a real vision of what he wants, and he hasn't, gone like this with that. So it really helps it.
There it is. He has a plan, and he hasn't went like this from it. He has a plan. Tom Telesco is not talking about their plan. He's talking about Antonio Pierce's plan. He has a plan, and he coached and played against these players as a coach. And everything from my perspective is saying this is an Antonio Pierce draft. And that's where I specifically think that he let it slip that this is Antonio Pierce's draft. And if they have the chance to go get Jayden Daniels, they are going to do it. And they're all willing to move up and trade picks or do whatever they got to do to get their guy. He did say they have a plan in place in case they can't move up, but this way he's speaking is just proving, sorry about my camera, that this is an Antonio Pierce-led draft and not Tom Telesco. Remember many years ago we didn't know if it was Gruden or Mayock pulling the decisions? I have to say it's Antonio Pierce for some of the big decisions. Some of the other decisions might be Tom Telesco. But the first round pick, trying to get Jayden Daniels, that's an Antonio Pierce full-blooded decision. And Tom Telesco is making it known that this is Antonio Pierce's plan. Maybe you guys agree with me, maybe you don't, but that's my perspective. I think this is proof the Raiders are going to get Jayden Daniels if they can.
5 years moving. So, but whenever we talk about players, you talk about, okay, what role would they have right away? What role would they have in the future? And kind of go off that.
Thomas, this week great stuff. What has it been like just working with Antonio Pierce this offseason and sharing each other's goals?
Yeah, it's been really good.
Let's hear it all again.
He's got a great vision of what he wants in the football team. He hasn't deviated from that, which really helps the personnel department as far as trying to match up players to our football team. He's got a great feel for evaluating players, which I'm not surprised. He played at a high level. He's coached at high school level, college level, and pro level. Evaluating players is all the same, whether they're 15 years old or they're 25 years old. But he's got a really good feel for that. What's been nice since he was in college recently, he knows some of these players already. He may have recruited them, he had known about them, he had played against them when he was coaching in college. That's been helpful. I think the biggest thing is he has a real vision of what he wants, and he hasn't, gone like this with that. So it really helps us kind of identify exactly who's going to fit as a Raider.
Tom, you've obviously had success in the early rounds in the draft when you were with the Chargers. Do you see yourself more in the early rounds as a guy that's drafting for need or a guy that's drafting best player available?
Yeah, I mean, that's the question every year. You try and balance it out, but the biggest thing is your needs change and they're unpredictable. And a need we may have today may not be a need in August. We may have a player in the building right now that continues to develop and grow and fills that need. We may have a position group who feels really strong today.
All right, you guys can go watch the complete press conference on the Raiders YouTube page. But that was my perspectives after listening to the question about Antonio Pierce, is how Tom Telesco spoke about Antonio Pierce having a plan, and he's not deviating from the plan, and he's putting players to the scouting department of players that he's worked with and he's developed to possibly be a part of the Raiders. And with all the rumors about Jayden Daniels, where there's smoke, there's fire. So this press conference, especially that area of quotes from Tom Telesco, in my opinion, were very interesting. And I think that is 100% proof that Jayden Daniels is in the Raiders' plans if they can move up. Again, there's a lot of variables to that, but I think this is proof Jayden Daniels is their number one choice, and they're going to give anything and do their best to move up if he's available at 2 or 3 or wherever they're drafting. So that is a major possibility. Again, just because they can move up or they're willing to give up things does not mean the other team is willing to give it at their value. And they may request too much where they believe their secondary plan for another quarterback or another trade might be better for the Raiders at that position. But I guarantee you, through everything I just heard and we listened together, Jayden Daniels is probably becoming a Raider, and they're going to trade up if they can. I think that was the proof. We just now have to get it set in stone and let the cards fall where they may. Raider Nation, are you excited? Do you believe this is going to happen officially? I do, but it's all in the process of the words. And this is an Antonio Pierce and Jayden Daniels draft that they want to make happen. And I hope they're able to. Let me know if you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like more little quick videos like this on my opinions for this channel, and I'll see you live on draft day, reacting to the Raiders trading up and getting Jayden Daniels.